Yeah, my name is Vinay. I have total 18 plus years of IT experience, 5+ years into Azure and DevOps. Currently working as a solution architect, one MNC from Hyderabad. Yeah, that's all about myself. May I know all of your background? Are you from IT background? Are you working? And what exactly you are looking out of this course? Just to understand from your point of view. Can anyone tell me? Are you aware of any cloud concepts or DevOps concepts, or is it everything new for you? Yeah, you can unmute and please speak up. Let's make it interactive rather than just a mono dialogue. Yeah.
Hey, hi, this is Ravi. I did
Hi.
have any experience in DevOps. I did like in testing just 1 year, so I just want to
Okay.
learn DevOps. Yeah,
Okay. Good. Good to know.
thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah.
This is Jagdish. I have total 8 years of experience in storage and the backup
Okay.
technologies,
Okay.
like Dell
Excellent.
PMC storage and the NetApp storage. The
Uh-huh.
Commvault is the backup tool, and Semantic Veritas Net Backup. This is
Okay.
my current
Okay.
experience. I am
Okay.
also working in one of MNC company in
Okay.
Chennai location.
Good. Good. Good to hear that you are some or other way connected to some or other cloud services. Yeah. Not a problem. All right. Even if you are not from a IT background, it is, I mean, it is not a very big deal. Only thing is we just need to understand the few basics of how the application development works, and we need to understand what is server and client, how many, how many different ways the development can be done, what is testing, and what is the requirements gathering. If we can just brush up all these skills, then it would be make more sense when we actually go into the course. Then you can able to easily follow. So just in case if you are not from IT background, or if you are a fresh graduate and you're looking for a job in the field of cloud and DevOps, then absolutely no issue at all. But only thing is you just need to brush up the basics of application development and different processes. All right. So without any further ado, I'll get into the course contents, and then we can go into the Azure concepts. Right. Basically, this Azure DevOps course divided into 4 different sections or different technologies. Right. We'll start with Azure Introduction. Yeah. Before that, we'll be learning the cloud concepts. What is cloud? Why we are learning cloud now, and why customers are actually looking to cloud? What are the drawbacks of the on-premise environments? Yeah. So we'll be learning IaaS, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service, PaaS, and many more things. What is private cloud, public cloud? So everything from the scratch we are going to learn, and then we'll be moving to, once we are done with Azure, in Azure especially we are going to learn storage account, virtual machine, and virtual network, what is subnet and VNet creation, and some other advanced load balancing service, yeah, load balancers and virtual machine scale set. In PaaS we'll be learning app service, that is web app, how to create web app, how can we configure different things in app service. We'll be mostly learning all the real-time use cases wherever possible. App service and monitoring, Azure monitoring we will be learning, and many more things in Azure. And coming to the Azure DevOps, in Azure DevOps we'll be learning the boards for requirement gathering, and repos for source code management, and pipelines for CI/CD, and then we'll be learning, after pipelines it is the test case integration, test automation, and then the artifacts management. So these are the high level tools which we are going to learn in Azure DevOps. And then the third course content is Docker. So we'll be learning Docker. Yeah, we'll be creating the Docker image, and we'll push to ACR, Azure Container Registry, and we'll spin up containers, independent containers. And then we'll be learning AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service. So with the Kubernetes service, we'll be creating a cluster, and then we'll be deploying the .NET or Java-based applications using the AKS cluster. And here we'll be using the image which we built, the Docker image, and we'll be pulling the image into AKS cluster, and we'll be and here advanced concepts like an ingress controller also we are going to learn. It can be nginx, because this is the most frequently used load balancer we have today, and Azure App Gateway is another load balancer. Application load balancer works at the layer 7. We are going to learn. So most of the real-time use cases I will try to touch on, and with the demos, day-to-day demos. And then we will be learning the Terraform. Towards the end of this course, we'll be learning the Terraform. Can anyone tell me what is the purpose of Terraform? Did anyone try using Terraform, or you have ever heard of Terraform? All right, in case if you do not heard, this is
It's automation tool, right? Terraform is automation tool.
automation tool. Infrastructure is a code.
Yeah,
Right?
yes, yeah.
Infrastructure is a code. Instead of creating a Azure resources directly from the portal, right? Customer expects you to write some script. Using the script, we should be able to deploy the resources. That is what the standard follow. That is the standards which followed in the industry. Most of the customers are recommending or forcing to use the Terraform to deploy their Azure resources. There are many benefits, and we'll be learning once we go to that course. And these are the 5 different skills, which we are Azure Devops, and Docker, AKS, the Kubernetes service, and the Terraform. Even if you go to any job job description today, and most of the skills are being actually asked. Let's say if you go to any LinkedIn, let's say, I know you may be already aware that what are the current job description, what the people are expecting. Just for your reference understanding, I wanted to show. If you go to the jobs, just a minute. It's taking still time. And most of these 5 skills, some or other way, they are actually, people are asking for it. Even if you just type Azure DevOps job role, that is the reason I included all these concepts. I need to minimize this, yeah. All right. Right. Not only just the CI/CD, and people are expecting that many other, see, you can see the Kubernetes, Docker, and Terraform should also be there. And if you look at the, not just the AWS, but we are looking for Azure. You see, right? AKS, or Terraform, Docker. You see, whatever the job description you see today, you will be able to find some or other way all these 5 different skill sets. That's the reason we are going to learn all these different skills altogether in one single course. That will give you more confidence. End of the course, you can able to crack any interview, even if you are switching internally or if you are looking, job switch outside of your company. Then it will make your life easy to go and prepare, all these concepts. Then I'll be providing the notes in the form of OneNote. Each and every class you will get a note, and not only just the notes, I will also be providing the some other interview tips based on the topic, and what kind of questions will be expected from each topic, and how you need to prepare the answer, how you need to provide the answer, so that the interviewer can understand that you have a real-time hands-on experience, because hands-on experience is the most important thing, rather than just knowing the concepts and if reading through the FAQs, right? If someone asks you what is cloud mean, cloud is a open source tool, all the blah blah, if you tell, then it doesn't make really sense in that manner, that people can easily understand that you just know the theoretical concepts, no hands-on, no real-time hands-on. So that is what, even if any one of you preparing for any certification, right, this course will allow you to go and take AG 400. Before you want to take the AG 400 certification, probably you need to either pass AG 104 or 204. Can anyone already got any of this certification, AG 104 or 204 or AG 900? We know that it is for very fundamentals. Most of the organization are recommending to at least acquire the AG 900 certification initially, and then depending on your job role, you may be asked to go through clear AG 104 or 204. AG 104 talks about mainly the Azure admin. This is for the, if anybody wants to take Azure admin as a role, then AG 104 makes more sense. Then for 204, it is for the Azure developer. So anyone is coming from development background, then it will be more useful if someone clear the AZ 204 certification, right? And AZ 400, if you pass any one of this, either 104 or 204, AZ 400 will give you Azure Devops Engineer Expert Certificate. So which is in very demand. Once you have the certification, it will be a value add, and you can your CV shortlisting can be more than compared to the people who do not have any of these certifications. At least try with AZ 900. This course will definitely help you in clearing the AZ 900. And not only just this course, you need to go through some of the sample exams, and you need to prepare some or other way, and you need to have hands-on to clear this kind of certifications, any of these certifications. Any questions here, guys? Please.
Yeah.
I'll take a.
Good morning, Vijay.
Yeah. Hi. Good morning. I know some of you.
Are you covering that 104 or 204 in your topics, or like?
Sure. 104 in the terms of Active Directory will be covering Azure Active Directory, and then from the 204 point of view, we'll be covering App Service and the SQL DB. Yeah, these are some of the services will be, and storage account. Those concepts will be covering.
Means you are covering both, like 104 and 204, like that.
Not everything, but whatever is necessary for our job role. I mean, so.
Okay.
I mean, there are 100+ services, right? We know that in PaaS at least. So we'll be covering what is the most frequently used services in our day-to-day job. Say storage account. Yeah, and virtual
means
machines.
We are going
with
to
virtual
this
machine,
or like with the parallel, or like how? Means first we will go with the Azure part.
First we'll go with the Azure fundamentals, of course, yes, and then we'll be moving to the IaaS services, that is VM and VNet and load balancers, those concepts. Then we'll be learning the Azure DevOps. Then in Azure DevOps, we will be covering all the tools like I mentioned just before. That boards, repos, pipelines, test cases, artifacts. These are the 5 different tools which comes out of the box with Azure DevOps. And Docker, yes, Docker. In the Docker, we'll be learning how to create image and all the Docker commands, how to install Docker in both Windows and Linux. And then we'll be using most of the time with the CI/CD pipeline, the most use cases like .NET, Java, even Node, Python, like that we'll be learning most of the real-time application scenarios we'll be covering. And AKS for sure, because Kubernetes is the much demand in, because this is the container orchestration tool. So if you know the AKS, then you will be in the hot in the market, at least from the Kubernetes standpoint, at least. Yeah. So we'll get a chance to deploy the applications, and we'll be configuring the ingress controller. These are the advanced kinds of load balancers, and we'll be using the YAML for CI/CD pipelines and both for the AKS deployment. So we'll get a chance to learn YAML script, and not only YAML, we'll also be learning some or other PowerShell scripts, and then AGCLI, Azure CLI. And then eventually we will be learning Terraform, that is infrastructure as a code, which will cover you the HCL, HashiCorp language, HCL script, which is very similar to JSON. If any one of you familiar with JSON, very similar to JSON, just a key value pair, simple. Like if you want to really understand how the Terraform looks, so this is how the Terraform code looks, because I was just taking Terraform course for other people. I just wanted to show you. So if I want to create a resource group with the help of Terraform, this is the code, simple resource, and then resource type, just the alias and the name of the resource group and location. And if you want to add any tags to it, just we need to mention the tags. And then with the help of commands, Terraform init, Terraform apply, Terraform plan, we can able to deploy a resource group in a target subscription. So we need to just log into subscription before we go and apply the changes. Right? So that is the Terraform we are going to learn. And coming to the job roles, we have different job roles, as I mentioned just before, that we have many different roles. Once you can able to complete this course successfully, then you can either choose your career in Azure developer, in case if you are from a strong background, I mean development background from Java or .NET or any other Python or Node. If you are from any development background, then you can easily go ahead and take the Azure developer as a role. It mostly covers the PaaS solutions, like I said, app service, Azure SQL, storage account. You may need to customize the out-of-the-box solutions provided by Azure. And Azure admin, in case if someone is good in Active Directory, or if you are from a administration background or Windows or Linux administration, then this Azure admin role will be more suitable for you. In case if you have some or other networking background or some or other infra background, then it will be suitable for you. Yeah. And migrate engineer, there is a lot of demand for migrate engineer too, but before go and take up the migrate engineer role, you need to have a strong hands-on experience with Azure services, then only you can go and take the migrate engineer role. Because migrate engineer is someone who has already gone through the hands-on experience with some or other Azure services, then only you can able to migrate your workloads from on-premise to Azure. So before that, you need to have a clear-cut understanding. And Azure Devops Engineer, so yeah, this one, if you can successfully create pipelines, end-to-end pipelines, when I say pipeline, right from the code, developer check in the code, and if you can able to create the CI pipeline, and if you can able to create CD pipeline along with monitoring and everything, then you are considered as a DevOps engineer. So if you want to go with this role, you need to have a DevOps skills. You need to understand what is Git. You need to understand what is CI. What makes CI as a process. We can go ahead and implement. Suppose if you are going to create a build pipeline for Java application. Can anyone tell me what is the build tool we need to use for Java to compile a Java application? Based on your prior experience with Java. Have you heard the tools called Maven? Maven is a build tool which we use to build the Java application, right? So we are going to learn Maven, and for .NET we are going to learn MS Build. For node related applications, it is the npm is a build tool. For Python, it is just an interpreter language, so really don't need any kind of build tool, but Python framework itself to go and build your Python based application.
Is
Hey,
Circle
sorry,
CI
sorry,
such a build tool? Circle CI.
sorry.
Circle CI is
There
that a
are
build tool?
Circle CI, Jenkins. They are all what you call the open source based CI tools, CI/CD tools. There are many actually. There are many tools which are available, and I will just brief out those two. That yeah, I will list down. Those are the open source tools. It's not necessary that we need to go and learn everything. Yeah, the other popular CI/CD tools are Jenkins, Travis CI, or Circle CI. Yeah, you might have heard this term tools, but it is not necessary that we need to go and learn everything. Yeah, that is something which may not be possible for us to go and put our hands on everywhere. If we can able to understand one CI/CD tool concepts from end to end, then probably we can able to go and implement any other tool in future. Yeah, and each and every GitHub tool like GitHub coming with its own CI/CD tools like GitHub Actions, and even GitLab coming up with GitLab CI/CD, and even Bitbucket is maintaining their own CI/CD tools, and vice versa. You can, I mean, each and every source code repository also coming up with their own CI/CD tools. So it is not possible for any uh, person to go ahead and learn everything, right? So that's the reason. I mean, if you can learn Azure DevOps also, we are going to learn pipelines with CI/CD pipelines with the help of YAML. So if you can able to understand YAML scripting, and if you can able to create a pipeline with YAML, then probably when you move to GitHub Action, then then you are the right person to go ahead and directly migrate your pipelines to GitHub Actions, because GitHub Actions also uses the CI/CD, I mean the YAML pipelines there too. We really don't need to again struggle to learn the YAML and all those things. Suppose your customer currently using pipelines in Azure DevOps, and tomorrow they have got the licenses in GitHub Action, like GitHub Enterprise, and then if they want to migrate their pipelines from Azure DevOps to GitHub Action, then the migration will be very smoother. It won't be a big effort involved to migrate, because both uses the YAML pipeline, right? So in Azure DevOps, because this is being one single platform, it's a completely ALM package, application lifecycle management package. It is providing you for requirement gathering. It provides boards, right? For source code management, we have Azure repos. For CI/CD, we have pipelines, and for test case, we have test case management, and for artifacts, we have artifacts management. Yeah. So the moment you build any application, it produces the output or artifact, right, in the form of jar, var. If it is a .NET, it is a DLL. If it is a node, it might provide a different artifact. In case of Python, it is .py. Like that, depending on your tech stack or whatever the artifact it produced, we should be able to store it in the artifacts, and then later the artifacts can be used for release purposes, deployment purposes. So that's the reason customers are moving to Azure DevOps, because it is providing all the tools in one single platform. So I just wanted to show how the Azure DevOps looks like. The moment we create an account, Azure DevOps account up to 5 users, it is free. We really don't need any credit card, any other details. For Azure subscription, yes, if you want to go and trial for 1 month, then we need a credit card, valid credit card, whatever maybe the country you belong. You just need to put in your credit card, and they don't charge anything, absolutely free up to 1 month. They will provide some credits, and based on your usage, the credits will be consumed, and after 1 month they will try to deactivate your subscription. Either you can convert your subscription to pay as you go, or you can also go and use another credit card to create a new subscription.
So Vijay,
See, this is the Azure.
can we
Yeah,
do
yeah.
the hands-on this with the free trial version?
Yeah, you are talking about Azure or DevOps?
No, with the Azure DevOps I'm talking.
Yeah,
So
with
whatever
Azure
we
DevOps we can do everything. We can do everything absolutely free, up to 5 users. You can add any of your friends or colleagues as a users into your DevOps organization.
no,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm asking for the course which we have. So whatever we learn, so we are able to do that functionality, right?
Yeah, exactly. I will show how to create the Azure DevOps account. It is very simple process, just 2 to 3 steps. It won't take much time. So anybody can go and create their own account and they can try out everything. Suppose
Okay.
if you
I
want to
thought
create a
there.
pipeline,
I thought
there is
there
no restriction. Yeah.
there might be limitations to do something.
No,
So,
absolutely free, sir. Absolutely free for everyone to try out.
okay.
Yeah, they don't ask anything. So pipelines can be created with wizard manner. See, here I don't have any repository in this project. Let me take one more project. And we need to select where is my source code. My source code is in this repository. What I'm trying to do, I want to build a Docker image and push it to my container registry. This is my simple use case. This is what the task given to me. So I'm not writing any code yet actually, but it is already bringing everything for me. And I can choose my container registry because I don't have any container registry. Otherwise, it would have listed my container registry. And then simple, the my pipeline will be created and it will write its own YAML. And then I just need to configure here and there based on my requirement. Simple. Just within few minutes, I would be able to create my own pipeline, CI pipeline, continuous integration pipeline, right? And whenever the developer check in the code, here let's say developer make some changes in any of their files. Just they will commit, developer commit the code. Then we can see that the pipeline has already been triggered automatically because the CI check has been enabled. And what it does, it will try to build your application and it will create a Docker container. Image first, Docker image, and what it does, it will try to push the image to your ACR, Azure Container Registry. Because I don't have the Azure Container Registry configured here, that's the reason it was not able to, and even it is not finding the resource group yet. Actually, I deleted all the resources when I'm done with the session. So that's the reason it's unable to go and locate the resource group. If the resource group is exist and if the Azure Container Registry also exists, then it will try to build your code and it will create an image Docker image, and it will go and push the image to ACR. This is my simple use case. Then from there, I will create one more pipeline for release purpose. Then in the release pipeline, what I will do, I will pull the image from the ACR, which is already available because the image is already built and tested. And then I'll be deploying this time to Kubernetes service with the help of same image. So in Kubernetes deployment, what I will use the standard deployment process, that is YAML. Yeah, this is how the Azure DevOps, the pipelines can be created very quickly. And then we need to understand before actually go and creating all these things, we need to understand the whole structure of it. Cannot directly go and just simply create like this, but we need to understand the whole concepts behind it. Right, and coming to the Azure side, since we need to go and learn the Azure concepts first, can anyone tell me the different use cases of real-time use cases of cloud, which we are already been using for a while? Cloud use cases, any cloud, not just only Azure. Our day-to-day life. Any guess? Gmail is one of the cloud service, absolutely. Why can't? So what is my use case is that I should, as a user, I need to send new messages and receive messages. This is my simple use case. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm opening my browser and I'm going to gmail.com. In case if I don't have an account, I will go and create my account. Create account, that is Gmail, with Gmail account with the username and password of my choice. And then I'll go to gmail.com and then I'll log in with my username and password. Then right away, I'm able to send and receive emails straight away without I'm spending anything. I'm able to do it. And that is how exactly the cloud services are actually working, right? Here my use case is very simple. I just need to send new message and receive messages. That's it. For that, I am really no need to bother that where are the Gmail servers are located and how they are able to provide 15 GB of storage capacity to use. So do we really worry about any time that where they are actually managing their infrastructure or data center and how they are actually providing the services? Because as an end user, it doesn't matter to me, because whenever I go to gmail.com, I should be able to log in first. That is my first and foremost requirement. Do we ever see that gmail.com go down? It's very rare. It might have, but it may be in a few minutes or few hours. That too very rarely. In a one our lifetime, we may see only one or two twice. That is the reliability we can talk, availability, if we can talk, right? And then similarly, if you can if your other use case is that you want to manage your documents, your personal documents or pictures or some other important documents, then what I need to do, I need to depend on Google Drive. Yeah, so similar, the same Gmail account, whatever you use for gmail.com, we just log into Google Drive, either from mobile or from a computer, desktop, or laptop, or even from a tab. No matter whatever may be the device, you just need to have a browser or app and just the internet connection. So what are the prerequisites? Just the client app. Client app can be browser or app, and then just the internet connection. Do we need anything else to go and access Gmail or Google Drive? Nothing is required. And then I can able to connect to my Google Drive and I am able to upload and download my documents whenever I want. And we rarely see that Google Drive went down. That is what the real power capabilities of cloud services, which we are already been using for a while. It is cloud is something which is not at all new to us. I mean, if you are using a mobile phone, what we do, we need to take backups, right, regularly. If you are using iPhone, then iCloud is the cloud solution, backup solution. The moment you take any picture, immediately it will get taken backup in your iCloud. Even if you lose your phone, mobile phone, iPhone, then even if you buy a new phone, then we can able to get all our important pictures and documents, whatever may be our personal, we can able to retrieve back in a few minutes or few hours at least. So we are not losing anything actually. That is a real cloud capabilities, which customers also wants to make use of these capabilities. So let's try to compare this with our Azure. Similarly, Azure also providing the this is a public cloud because anybody can go and create their own account. So Azure allowing us to go and create account. We just need a username, or username in the sense Gmail. I mean any mail ID, password. So you just create account, Azure subscription. We call Azure subscription, right? Azure subscription. They are also giving free trial for 1 month. Then what we do within this 1 month of duration, we can absolutely go ahead and create a number of servers we call virtual machine, right? The server is called virtual machine, and you can create a storage account and you can create a web app. Whatever you want to do, you can do within this trial period, right? Absolutely, it's free for anyone because then since it is a public cloud, anybody can go and create their own account. Only thing is the credit card is required. That's it. And they may ask you a few other demographic details of your address, those things. Yeah, you can put anything, but credit card should be valid, and they don't charge anything unless you convert your account or subscription to pay as you go. From the pay as you go subscription, whatever the services you use, you are liable to pay that. You have to clear the dues because they will generate the invoice. Like how we use the mobile postpaid account or prepaid account. In case of postpaid account, we use the mobile services. We make calls and we receive calls and we send texts and all those things we do. And end of the day, end of the month, they will generate the invoice bill and we have to clear the bill. What happens if you don't pay the bill? Then they will wait for a few days. Then after that, they will first deactivate your outgoing. Then slowly they may deactivate your incoming too. So it is working the similar model, right? After all, it is a cloud service. It doesn't mean that we can just use and we can go away. Not like that. And most of the time, it is for the customers who use more rather than as an individual user. Because for the learning and trialing purposes, we may use it, but it is for the customers who wants to make use of their workloads. Of they want to migrate their workloads to cloud, and they probably use the accounts more, and they are more responsible for the billing and other purposes. They have to be very careful, otherwise it will be they have to face other consequences. And why customers need to migrate to cloud? Can anyone tell me the reason based on the examples I given here? You can just imagine, you can just compare those use cases and you can give me any answer. What is the main pressing reason customers are already moved to cloud, or trying to move cloud, or in the process of migrating? Just any example. What are the drawbacks of their current?
Hi.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to. There is no need of maintaining the servers for the client. So, as the resources are being provided by these companies like Amazon and Azure, so client doesn't need to put any work, resource, and spend money on maintaining the servers.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It is for the customers, I said. Yeah, suppose you are running business successfully, and if you want to run any business, obviously we need computers, right? So without computers, we cannot imagine that any business exists today. No matter whatever the business you take, even kirana stores also, they are using computers for their billing and inventory purposes. You can imagine every business is using some or other way the computers, application, software, hardware, everything they are using. And what is the problem that they are trying to migrate to cloud? As one of you said, I couldn't get your name, but as you said correctly, that customers really don't want about their infrastructure or infra or hardware or network or managing their data center, because they need so much of manpower and they need to take care of power backups and cooling equipment, because if you don't properly maintain the cooling equipment, then your servers will be get heat up and they may even crash or burst, right? So they have to take care of all these things, and really customers are now fed up managing all these things, because the maintenance cost is going higher and higher each and every day. That even power, you see that in our state, that how much power bill increased. It's almost doubled, right? In last 2 months, 3 months back, they immediately doubled. And you can just imagine how much management cost or maintenance cost for managing all this. And they, let's assume that their servers licenses are getting expired, right? Or they may need to upgrade the servers. Today they may be running with like, let's say, 2 CPU and 8 GB RAM, and tomorrow the application, the users are increasing, okay, the concurrent requests are increasing, then your 2 CPU and 8 GB RAM definitely may not able to serve the requests coming from your clients. Then obviously you need to upgrade your hardware. It's not easy that in your own data center you can go and upgrade easily. You need to procure the hardware first, and then you need to take downtime, and you need to install the new hardware, and you need to test it. There are a lot of process headache, I mean, overheads involved, even if you just want to upgrade your hardware from current configuration to the higher configuration. And I'm just giving an simple examples, but there are many more things which customer, and so much of capital money they need to spend, right? If you want to set up your own data center, you need millions of dollars. You need to go and set up the entire data center, and you know not, you are going to start a new business, and it's like a startup company, and you really don't know how much whether your business will continue or not, how much time you manage, you can able to run your business, and you really don't have money, capital money, to go and set up all this infra. Then you can directly simply switch to cloud, that is Azure. And then in Azure you just create an account, and then you just whatever the application you developed, you just go and deploy your application in a virtual server or in an app service, and simply use it. And you think that if your business is growing, then obviously you need to increase your capacity on demand basis. Suppose today you are managing with one server, and your user base is increasing, and your concurrent users requests are coming more and more, then obviously one server may not able to serve the request, right, the response. Then obviously you need to increase your servers. So in Azure, it is something very easy, that you can able to upgrade, or you can able to add servers parallelly, so that you can able to balance your load. Now, whenever the request coming, your load balancer will automatically divert the traffic. If the one server is busy, then it will automatically divert to other server. So you can think of many use cases like this. I mean, and on demand basis, we can able to procure the servers we want. It's not just the only servers, or it may be your storage account too. Suppose if your use case says that your users are need to just upload and download the document, then probably only you just need to go and configure the storage account, and you just give the URL to your users, and then your users can able to log into the storage account, and then they can able to start putting the documents and retrieving the document. Simple. My use case is very simple. For that, I really don't need to buy a server and installing all the operating system and software buying licenses. So many things I really don't need to worry about that. And just pay as you go. Today you use server for 1 hour, you just pay for 1 hour. You really don't need to pay for even 24 hours, because the billing also in cloud happens hourly basis too for some services, especially for virtual servers. In Azure we call virtual machine, right? So we can save a lot of money. You just pay what you use, pay as you go model. So I just documented all the advantages, mainly availability and reliability, right? This is foremost important for any customer, that whenever their customers try to log into your application or your database, it should be at least available first, and it has to be reliable, that at any point of time it should be up and running. And scalability, as I discussed, we can able to scale out, scale in, horizontal scaling, vertical scaling. We can do it quickly, and we can also automate the scalability process with the help of virtual machine scale sets. Many advantages cloud, we already discussed some of them. We really don't need to worry about patching and taking backups of your server. Everything managed by your cloud provider. Here in case of Azure, it is Microsoft who manages all your infrastructure, and they will make sure that your application and data is secure enough. Nobody can able to peek into your data at any time. And storage capacity is unlimited. Suppose today you are running one server with let's say 100 GB hard disk, and your users are putting more and more data, and let's say your hard disks already reached certain 90% limit, then before actually your entire hard disk get full, then we will get an alert, and then somebody can go and add the another disk manually, or we can also even automate that, adding the disk automatically. We can also automate that, so that my users will not get any kind of disturbance when they are actually trying to put in their documents. In case of on-premises, which is not possible immediately to go and add another disk, because the process is very tedious process which we need to follow, as I discussed. So many advantages of cloud. Right. Since this is just for a demo, so I don't want to take most of your time today. And we will be starting actually the Azure DevOps in the morning, 9:30 to 10:30 actually. So the fresh batch has just started. So people who are confirm, they can able to enroll that course. So we'll be just going through the same concepts, and we just gone through the introduction to the cloud, and then we will be creating Azure account, and we'll be learning Active Directory, RBAC, and all those things. We'll slowly learn one by one actually. Any questions? General, it is now the Q&A. I want to take any questions. Is that timings works for you, all of you? Hello. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, 9:30 to 10:30, Vinay.
Yeah, 9:30 to 10:30.
Okay.
9:30. Yeah, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Monday to Friday, and it is I will take minimum 40 hours to complete the entire course, because I don't want to rush just because of sake of learning. Yeah. So I'll be going through each and every concepts in detail, and then we'll be providing the more and more use cases and with live demos, and I will give the notes, and you will get the recording sessions too. In case if you miss any session, you can able to catch up. So Azure notes I can able to provide in the form of OneNote. I just need your email IDs in future. I can able to share the OneNotes, and I will also share other notes. And for the certification point of view, I will try to give some tips, and of course the interview tips will be provided. So this is what I can do. So in case if you are okay with this course and timings and everything, all the logistics, you need to confirm to Visualpath marketing team, so that we can able to continue from today itself, actually. Or if you want to take time till tomorrow, then probably we can also connect from tomorrow same 9:30 to 10:30.